Here's another podcast from the Pod Bros Network.
It's time for another episode of the Jean-Pod Van Damme Cast. It's Jeff and John in studio. We are back, and we are going to review Kickboxer 3, The Art of War. This 1992 rated R 1 hour and 32-minute action sport thriller in which David Sloan travels to Rio for a kickboxing exhibition. There he saves two youngsters and stops a white slaver.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty straight on. Thank you, Anonymous.
Although the term white slavery is problematic, though. Human trafficker is the preferred
Yeah, human
nomenclature.
trafficker probably would have been the better one, but I kind of like white slaver.
Yeah, me too. Makes me think of Star Wars.
Oh, man. The director of this was Rick King, and we're going to put an asterisk next to that because we are doing our Kickboxer sequel series right now, since this is all the sequels to the original Kickboxer, and right before all of the remakes with the new Kickboxers that we already reviewed. Check it out. I say put an asterisk next to this because in Kickboxer 4 we get a return.
Dun dun dun.
So yeah, and it's not Rick King. That's not the return. The writer was Dennis A. Pratt.
Oh, no credit to JCVD this
Yeah,
time.
JCVD doesn't get a credit. Yeah, I was going to say, was it, are the Sloan brothers even mentioned in number 3? I don't know if they're even mentioned.
No, I don't think they are, to my knowledge.
So maybe that's why.
Makes sense.
Tagline, in the world's deadliest contest, there can only be one winner and only one survivor. That's the Australian VHS videotape.
Were these movies like a hit in Australia?
I guess so, man. So, they really love Sasha Mitchell over there.
Makes sense.
Sasha Mitchell reprises David Sloan. Dennis Chan reprises... God, I can't fucking talk. Reprises Jian. Which they still... Every time someone fucking says his name in the Kickboxer movie, it's different.
Xian.
I heard Xian.
Jian.
Yeah. Yep. Jian.
Yeah.
Richard Comer plays Lane. He was an agent in the Coneheads. Border Town as Marshall Jack. The Funny Farm as TV director. The Boxing Day Classic as Constable LaPointe. That must be a Canadian film. Oh, it's an 11-minute short.
Oh. Is that standard length for a Canadian film?
I guess so. Ooh, the Sinbad, Adventures of Sinbad series as Veden. He was in Kung Fu, the TV series.
Oh, wow. The original?
From 1994 to 96.
Oh, Kung Fu wasn't like The Legend
Continues.
Yes, I watched that.
Oh, yeah, man. As Demeter, Charles Bronson, Family of Cops. That's awesome. As Mr. Alexander, RoboCop.
The series?
Series?
He was in RoboCop the series?
I had no clue.
You didn't know it existed?
Wait. Was this the one with the bad, like, the black RoboCop or something?
No,
like
that
the black suit?
No, that was RoboCop Dark Justice, the Canadian miniseries. There was RoboCop TV series. It wasn't very good. He never shot anyone.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. They had a good-looking suit, though. I will give it that.
Noah Verduzco played Marcos. Wow, he was in Radio Flyer as Victor Hernandez.
Oh, no kidding.
Bound by Honor as Juanito. My Crazy Life as Chuco. D2, Mighty Ducks 2 as Hector.
Oh, wow. Wow, I never realized that.
Yeah, me either. ER as Gang Kid at Bus.
I think he found his niche.
Yeah, man. That's good. Alethea Miranda played Isabella. She was in a bunch of stuff that you wouldn't know either. And that's good.
Yeah, this movie didn't have quite the amazing cast that the second one did.
Yeah, I swore that the bad guy
he seemed very familiar,
but
yeah.
From what his filmography shows, maybe I'm mixing him up with someone else. Okay, we open up in the jungle and a woman screams. She's running away from someone. A dude is chasing her with a machete. She falls. They run to the beach. She runs in the jungle some more. Some guy is dressed up talking with what looks like another businessman, and then another. It's like some type of brothel resort. Guy comes in and tells them they have a problem. They capture the girl, and he freaks out on her. Next, we see all the girls together. He throws her in there. Now, girls, what happens when we are bad? And he shoots her dead. Lesson is over. And the girls cry. We're in Brazil. Man, Rio de Janeiro, this is beautiful. Sasha Mitchell is wearing red overalls without a shirt on.
Yes, in the airplane. I was dying. We never really mentioned how 90s Kickboxers 2 and 3 were. It was like
seriously,
so 90s.
Dude, it is so 90s.
Like he spends the whole movie wearing genie pants and like sleeveless shirts. And
yes, he does.
Fantastic.
Man. Yeah. It was, dude. Absolutely. What, you don't like flying? This is not flying. This is falling. We see that the girl is dead on the beach now. We get a beach shot with everyone there.
Long butts left and right.
Yep, long butts everywhere, man. He's like, what's the matter? Why are you pounding? I never pout. I ponder. We get some capoeira fighting. Then they are eating together. Some girl tries to distract as another kid grabs their camera off the table. David chases after him. A guy tries defending the kid, then another, and David just takes him out, then grabs the kid who pulls a knife on him. He twists his arm. He's like, next time I'll kill you. And he's like talking with Jean back at the table. I don't want to hurt the kid. The kid's like, give me back my knife. It's my only way of survival. And then Jean's like, well, then feed him. And so they feed him and his sister. This kid starts showing him around, and he tells him like he can basically get him anywhere in the city, blah, blah, blah. They get back to the hotel. They try giving the kid money. He's like, I'm a man. And Jean gives him some, big knowledge right here. If you take something, you are a thief. If you are given something, you are a friend. I was like,
so much sage-like advice in these films.
Seriously, man. And then the kid steals the camera again from him. The kids are back at their own little place with the other kids. He's taking photos of his sister. They're laughing. The next day they all meet up and they give him back his camera. We see that they're at a benefit for homeless kids. The lady there promised them they'll take care of the kids, and then she's like, get rid of them. He's getting ready for a fight. Another guy comes into his locker room and is like, hey, my corner man dipped out. Can you be my corner? He's like, yeah, sure, man. And so he's in the ring doing a presentation. The guy in the ring actually looks like his brother from the first movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was just kind of like a little play. Like they're like, hey, guess what? Guess who's in Kickboxer 3 with an uncredited role? Because it looked just like him.
It did. I was really, I hadn't looked at the credits. I just assumed, I guess. But
yeah, right. Me too. The creepy guy from the beginning is there, and he's looking at Isabella.
Yeah.
The young guy has Sloan in his corner. Martine, the other guy, tells Sloan he's going to beat him next week. He's fighting. The kid beats the hell out of him. He's like, what the hell is that? You know what an exhibition is, don't you? The dude just beats the shit out of the kid some more. Sloan jumps in and kicks the dude. Jean tells him, wrong time. Frank is the creepy guy. He apologizes for Martine, tells David he's fantastic. He's having a party, gives him a card, show up, bring the kids. Tells him bring his friends, and he stares at the girl, and it's really gross and creepy. They show up at the kids' place. It was an old hotel that just never got built and finished. They talk to each other about how the kids ended up there. They dress up the kids and go to the party, and it is very adult. There's naked women on the wall, painted on the wall. And
this movie really paints a very vivid and not so positive picture of Rio in general.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, this is pretty typical for films and TV shows when they have Rio and it involves crime in any way, shape, or form.
I was going to say this doesn't stray too far off of any other of my depictions of Rio de Janeiro. So
this is the idea of Rio I have in my head pretty much.
Yeah, seriously. Frank comes up to the table talking to them about how he came from nothing. Hey, check out Marcos over there. He's dancing with a girl. Frank tells him he is open to working with him. The girl comes up with Marcos and she's like, hey, you want to dance? And he's like, no, I'm just a fighter. And then a guy comes up and calls her a puta and slaps her. And then Sloan basically beats the shit out of the dude. And he's like, Frank's like, hey, not bad. Welcome to Rio, David. Is it always like this? Like the Wild West?
Yeah.
The kids are back at their place, and they're talking about the dancing and stuff and the party with the other kids when two guys randomly come in, beat the shit out of kids, and take Isabella. Marcus shows up and tells Sloan what happened. They're at the police station, want to make them find the kid. The dude there is basically like, well, we'll start with her case after we find all these other kids. And he pulls up one a drawer that's just full of files. And it's like, ugh.
And they talk about, there's 100,000 children missing in Rio de Janeiro and like all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's
this is life in Rio. Yeah. And I was like, oh, God.
Jeez, man. Yeah. I wonder if like the tourism board sued or something after
I know, right? Like they're like, fucking A, we let you film here and this is what you do for us.
I kind of wonder the same thing about the Thailand's board with
yeah, man. Yeah.
They probably just didn't know, though.
Yeah, they were probably like, whatever. More tourism for us.
Yeah.
They go to some disco. Gian says he'll handle it from here. Marcos tells him about Marguerite. He meets her. They're talking. She's trying to hook up with him. He tells her he's looking to find Isabella, that he's not. That's not the reason why he's there. He's not saying that the disco is good or bad, because like she's like kind of gets offended, and he's like, no, I would just rather she made her own choice.
So the place was like a brothel, right?
Yeah, it was.
She was like
more
like
a strip club, but yeah, brothel type place. And then it just says disco out front, and she's trying to get a drink with Gian and thinking, oh, they're gonna hook up, but yeah, I don't know. Marguerite tells him that she's probably at this place, but be careful because these guys are wicked. Next, we're up at a carnival practicing. Sloan is asking some guy with glasses.
This guy is very
he's
energetic.
Very energetic and flamboyant.
Yes.
Very over the top.
He had like a gold chain with a whistle on.
Yes, yep. Sloan's basically like, I have no time for your shit. He has guys trying to beat him up, so he takes him out. Then the guy in the glasses runs off. David chases after him.
He throws a giant cake at him.
Throws
like a giant
a float
ceramic
piece.
cake.
Yeah. So David leans him over the edge of the balcony. He's like, makes him talk. He's like, Bronco has all the best girls. The police show up, and they're like, oh, yeah, we got the bad guys over here. And they arrest Gian and David. The doctor checks Isabella. She's a virgin.
Yuck.
He's like, are you sure? I'm a doctor, aren't I? Just don't damage the goods. I'm like, gross.
Man, yeah, it's real. It's good old flesh peddling.
Frank is like, you are going to make me a lot of money.
So sleazy.
Yeah, man. Sloan and Gian are in jail talking. The police guy that they talked to earlier shows up and said, hey, someone let you out. And then it's Frank there. He's like, hey, guys. They talk about the fight. Frank kind of alludes to him, hey, some guys have bad days, but $500,000 will make those days a little bit better. And he's like, smells like raw sewage in here. So Frank tells the driver to pull over and throws all the guys out of the car. They're at the favela now. There's a dude with a gun there talking to Marcos. He's like, we came to talk to Marcelo. And Marcelo's like, I don't know you two, but I'll help because of Marcos. And then he shows him a bunch of guns. He's like, you take the 38 and I'll take the Beretta. He's like, here, have this. It holds 15 in a clip if you need more. Absolutely.
They unexplainably are both totally familiar with firearms.
Yeah, right. Yeah, all of a sudden. And then Shan makes a Sun Tzu reference and like everyone's like, huh? And then Marcelo's like, a gringo, a philosopher, and a boy. Oh, man. This woman's talking with Frank, and she's like, I'll pay you $25,000. I have some very excited customers. Like,
I mean, he abducts this girl who's obviously important to Sloan, and they're involved in a multi-million-dollar fight, and he's looking to make $25,000 off her.
I know, man, right? Just, 25.
I don't know if he's just like greedy or I don't know.
I think that's exactly it, because even some of like his bets, he's like 1,000, 6,000.
Yeah,
it's like it's just so random. He just loves money. Sloan is making his way up to Bronco's place. The cops are waiting for him. They're basically telling him to watch out. Even a pig is protected by the law. Even a pig with 7 men protecting that pig is protected by the law, Mr. Sloan. I love. Oh yeah. I was just for the sightseeing here, man. They tell Marcos to stay with the car, and they make their way into the jungle. Hey, bro, did the Rangers win last night? And then they take the dude out. Gian just saying it to him. Sloan goes in, asks the chef where Bronco is at. A guy walks in and just starts shooting up the place. Another guy comes in. Sloan shoots both dudes dead.
Kills them in cold blood.
Yeah, I was like,
so out of left field.
Sloan is a fucking murderer.
Yeah, like, I mean, I knew we were in for something fun because of the cover for the movie is him holding like an MP5 or something.
Dude, Yep, exactly.
Like, holy shit, this movie took an interesting turn.
Yep. He takes one of their guns, takes out another dude, and then a guy pops out. He jumps out the window, and Jean takes him out, and he's like, "Thanks a lot, pal," and does the glass off of him.
Jean does the gangster hold.
Yeah, he does the gangster.
Sideways.
Yes, shooting, taking dudes out. They're just killing them. The body count, I was like, I think the body count's at 6 now, and they confirmed it after I thought that.
That's 7, right?
It's like, no, we killed 6, not 7. Oh. And then a guy jumps out of one of those Narnia closets, and he fucking just kills him, knocks him out the window, and he falls.
He like looks out of the window where he landed. He has a shit-eating grin on his face.
Senor Bronco, I hate to disturb your dinner engagement. He brings the dude outside. We find out he's an investment banker. You're a pimp.
Yeah.
You hide it well, but you're a pimp. Does your wife know? We just want the girl back. And the wife tells him, you should look for his partner. He's the one that does the dirty work. His name is Lane, Frank Lane. They're like,
dun, dun, dun.
Frank finds out all about it, and he's like, oh, man, I really like Sloan. He's got balls. Now we're at his place. There's a guy patrolling Sloan, breaks his neck. It snaps his neck. It just drags him off. Marco says he's going with him this time. And so they talk about how normal everything is and that it's probably a trap. And Sloan's like, no, man, it's not. He goes in, sees Frank reading, comes up behind him, has a gun to his face. Hi, guys. Where's the girl, Lane? You can have her alive or dead. And then there's a dude with a gun on her. And then another guy comes up behind David. So he gives him the gun. The next day, they have them in a room, take Frank to show up for the fight. Don't throw the fight. I'll give you the girl. But I want you to be sure you're in good shape for the fight. Tone up a little more. No way. And he's like, all right, and calls, and he's like, kill the girl. And he's like, no, I'll do it. And he's like, okay, the call's off. So I thought like he was going to like inject Sloan with shit or whatnot. Yeah. I've seen this before. I just forgot. But like his idea of toning up is actually training him. Like, legitimately training him.
I'm assuming what he was trying to do was weaken
wear him out.
Yeah, before the match.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Overtrain him, I guess.
But why not just make him throw the fight?
Yeah, I know.
I guess he realized that he would never throw the fight, maybe.
Yeah,
or
I guess
pad
so.
The movie for 15 minutes, or.
So we see Sloan training with rocks in the backpack, running up hills. Frank is talking to another guy about Martine, how he has no clue about Sloan. I heard he's training in secret. They make a bet. His boy beats up the partner. Sloan is training, going downhill, and he falls to the bottom of the hill. Jean tells him the body and the mind do not always travel together. The guy makes David jump off the boat and into the water. They take off and make him swim. Jean is watching.
One thing I liked about that, they actually had like the skin on his back was all roughed up from when he was wearing the backpack. I was like,
yeah, they did.
Both of these movies did really good jobs with like the makeup and like,
yeah, like continuity in it. Yeah, man.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, seriously, you wouldn't think it, but they did. Jean is watching him, sees him swimming towards them. Frank sees it as well. That's a relief, isn't it? I was getting worried. Here, you earned it. And he gives him like the strawberry daiquiri, in which Sloan just throws it right in his face. He's like, you need more exercise. Makes him start digging a pit. So Jean and David look at each other, and they basically had this mental connection. We hear the body and the mind do not always travel together. And David's like, yeah, nods in agreement.
Whoa.
And we see, like he's thinking of himself under a waterfall and smiles and just keeps digging. And next up, they're like, how's your water skiing, David? And he launches him off a dock into the water, being dragged behind a boat.
I'm glad that they continued the tradition of horribly painful, torturous training methods.
Yep,
and
exactly.
There hasn't been a Kickboxer movie without one yet.
Seriously, man. Frank tells his guy to take Sloan back to the hotel, and if he doesn't show up, the girl will be killed. Jean is out in the jungle grabbing stuff, grabs a snake, takes its venom.
They actually milked the snake for that.
Yeah, they did. They really did. Then they meet up with some lady. She gives him a bunch of stuff, too, so he starts muddling stuff together, puts ingredients in a pot.
Thai, like, Brazilian,
Thai Brazilian mix,
thing.
Seriously,
best of both worlds.
He pours a glass of it, makes David drink it, tells him to get some rest.
And like right after he leaves, he just goes,
yuck. Senor Vargas shows up to Frank, tells him he would like to bet. He wants his place. You got yourself a bet. Gian is putting mud or something on Sloan to take the soreness or whatever away. Sloan is now in the ring. We're getting ready for the main event. It's Eric Martin versus David Sloan. Frank shows off Isabella. Frank wants Martin to destroy him after a couple rounds. They fight each other. There's a good back and forth. Martin celebrates. Sloan knocks him down. Martin hits him after the bell sounds. He gets a 1-point deduction. They fight again back and forth. The ref ends up getting knocked out.
That was by Sloan, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if Martin threw him in the way or what.
Yeah.
They fight some more. Martin falls over the ropes. They're fighting on the outside. And Sloan throws the water bucket in his face. People are in the ring. This is crazy. Martin gets taken out with a roundhouse kick to the face. Frank and Isabella take off. Gian stops them and has Isabella now. Frank doesn't understand why Gian would die for her. His right-hand guy convinces Frank to leave. There are plenty of others. They are back at the hotel. They are taking the money they won and putting it into a private school for the kids. They tell them there are other kids there at the place as well. And so they're like, oh, shit. So they go back to the place, tell the kids to wait up. And they're like, no, we don't want to wait up. He's like, we just saved Isabella. What would happen if she goes back here? And so they're like, yeah, you're right. Frank wants to know what the hell they are doing there. He came for the girls. Frank tells his right-hand guy to kill him. And he's like, come on, you're too smart to back a loser like this. The guy turns on Lane and points the gun at him. I never did like you. Gian tells him, let him live. He will create his own hell. Sloan tells the girls they are free. Frank tries to stop them. He says he's trying to help them. Keeps them more mature. It's the 90s, pal.
That was the line of the movie.
It was, dude.
Oh, my God. I was dying.
Frank chases after him. Sloan beats the shit out of him. Frank gets up. Those girls were all I had left, David. My fresh start. Glad I could help, Frank. Frank pulls a gun and shoots at David. You underestimated me. I may go down, but I'm taking you with me. Marcos comes out of nowhere and fucking knifes him. Oh, dude, he just fucking...
Yeah.
Bah, bah, bah. He's like, I thought I'd feel a lot better than this. Killing someone never makes you feel good.
Unless you kick him out of a window.
Yeah, fucking murder.
Whoa. He totally went splat.
The police officer has a knife. He throws it in the woods. No weapon, no case.
That cop was great.
Dude. Yeah, he's like, I'll give you 5 minutes to leave. Isabella's crying. He tells her to cheer up, that they'll do better in an orphanage. And then they're talking about the cops. If we make good timing, we can share a beer at the airport. He's like, if we miss our flight, then it'll be 22 hours. And he's like, then we can have more beer. They all laugh and they walk off. The end. Oh, man, this movie.
Hell yeah.
Oh, dude. So what were your thoughts on this?
Oh, man. I thought I enjoyed the second one. This one just amped up everything enjoyable about the second one. But like, it really played to the strengths of the second one. Like, they understood what they had going with this movie.
Yeah.
The fight in it was just the backdrop. Like,
yeah,
there were only two matches, an exhibition match.
Yeah.
The fight that was just had really very little. I mean, it played into the film, but it was,
it was, there was not much for it.
Yeah, it wasn't anything like the first Kickboxer movie. Where
dude,
this wasn't about revenge. It was, you just happened to be they were just at the fight to make some money, and they got involved in this sprawling kidnapping plot and detective work. And
yeah.
It was just so, and then the fucking murder spree they go on in the middle of the movie. No consequences whatsoever.
I know, man.
And they're both just totally cool with it.
Yeah, man.
Like, it was just the most natural thing in the world for them to do.
That's what like, I guess pun intended, that's what kills me, dude. It's just like, they're fucking, it's the second film, it's like all these wise words, sage advice. You would never think that,
like keeping your mind calm and, and then he just pulls out a fucking Beretta and just starts blowing people away. Like, smiling and making jokes about the kill count.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Truly
absolutely. All right, getting into the trivia. Filmed back-to-back with Kickboxer 2 that rode back.
That makes sense.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think. It was just like, all right, hey.
But, well, we're all here already.
Yeah, right? Early in the film, when the characters are at the kickboxing exhibition, David is wearing a top which reads Benny the Jet's World Champion Karate. Benny Yerkudez was an undefeated kickboxing champion over a career lasting almost 30 years and is considered one of the best ever alongside people such as Don Wilson. He has been in 2 Jackie Chan films, which are Wheels on Meals and Dragons Forever, and he worked as a choreographer and fight coordinator in the second installment of the franchise, The Road Back.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's some really in-depth trivia.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's
Someone's
a very
a big
6
fan.
degrees.
Yeah.
The man in the ring with David Sloan during the exhibition demo is Shuki Ron, the film's fight choreographer and Mitchell's martial arts trainer. Oh, okay, so it wasn't the brother.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, we cleared that up.
Yep. So that's it. Not as much quotes in this one as in Kickboxer 2.
We pretty much named all the quotes.
Yeah. I was going to say, let's take a quick peek. Yeah, no, we basically covered all the quotes. And all the other ones, I'm surprised they're even quoted. That's not really that good of quotes. So yeah, man, what would you give this on the split scale?
Oh, man. I think this one just ekes over the second one with the murder spree. I'd give it an 8.5.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Nice.
I'd say so. I really enjoyed these movies. I was surprised. I was expecting like a 6.57 tops.
Yeah, right? No,
They got horrible reviews too
They
on
did.
IMDb and Rotten
They
Tomatoes.
did.
But I don't know. I thought they were a romp. Like, it's never boring. The dialogue is entertaining.
Yeah, man, that's exactly it. They aren't ever boring.
Yeah, I mean it's a martial arts crime film, action film. Like,
Yeah.
that's totally up my alley.
It plays what it says it's going to be.
It's exactly.
What do you
what's
expect from
advertised.
Kickboxer 3? It's
Not a murder spree, to be honest.
okay, yes, quite honestly, yeah, you're totally right. I was
Snap
not
that
expecting
dude's
that.
neck. That was.
Like, I've watched it before. I've seen it before, and I actually own it. And I remember watching it the first time and going, what the fuck's going on here, man?
He's got the biggest heart and the highest kill count.
Yes. That should have been the tagline. That should have been the tagline right there, dude. But yeah, like, even Kickboxer 4 just goes fucking crazier, which we'll be reviewing that next week.
I can't wait.
So yeah, it's just, I can't wait for you to watch. Kickboxer 4 is like weird. In the same way of like Bloodsport 4 in a weird way, kind of. You'll see though. You'll see how it goes. So yeah, I would give it an 8. I really liked it too. I was dying. I was laughing so much when all of a sudden David just was like fucking lost all of this, his own sage advice, and just was fucking tearing dudes up. Just left.
I mean,
and
they're
right.
flesh peddlers, man.
Yeah.
You're a pimp.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, don't fucking anytime human trafficking comes up, don't mess with David Sloan because he will fuck shit up, man.
He will fucking blast your ass.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Kick you out of a window.
Yeah, seriously.
Defenestrate. That's the word.
Defenestrate.
He totally
That's right. He
defenestrated that
defenestrated
guy.
a dude. He defenestrated himself. Actually,
He did.
too.
He jumped out of a.
Twice.
Whoa!
Thanks, pal. I love he's knocking the glass off him. Oh, it was so good. Loved it. Fun stuff. You guys should check it out if you haven't already. With that being said, please, if you love what we do, patreon.com/podbros. We have a super secret Jean-Pod Van Damme cast episode over there for only $1. That can be yours, and you help us out. You help keep the lights on in the studio. You help so that we can keep reviewing all the sequels and prequels to these Van Damme movies. Also, if you do your shopping on Amazon, please consider using our link. Just go to podrose.com. It is right there. It says Amazon. Check it out. Very easy. Bookmark it. That sincerely helps us out, all of you that do your shopping, but you don't have that extra income to give money to us or anything like that. That helps us. Doesn't cost you anything. We truly appreciate those that already do that. Also, TeePublic. Find out some of our cool shirts on there. We don't have any Van Damme t-shirts yet, inspired ones, but we will. They'll come soon. Maybe we'll get a Sloan's Gym shirt up or something on there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So don't steal that, please.
Cut that out.
Yeah. So yeah, check us out on TeePublic. That's tee.pub/lic/podbros. All right, that wraps it up. I am John.
And I am Jeff.
And you've been listening to another episode of the Jean-Pod Van Damme cast. Jeff, you take the 38. I'll take the Beretta.